Hello, Samadan here, and the month is almost over, and here I am with my operation token, which is basically how can I get hold of a token for game time, either in retail or classic, depending on what I'm doing, with a very, very limited game time. I I don't play very often. I have a busy life, as do many of us, so this is my journey just to make sure I've got enough gold just to pay for my game time, as well as make sure I'm having fun making gold. So since the last video, I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it to the end of the month in terms of what I've been doing. You can see there's big gaps in where I haven't been doing things. But I did get to the end of the month and I did buy a token in retail. You can see here I'm right down to like 13,000 gold or something ridiculous like that. In terms of classic, I haven't done a great deal, but we have got ourselves up to, what's that, about 5,000 gold. So that's not too far off getting a token. So from the look of things here, I'm starting here end of July, beginning of August. So what I plan to do in a rough sense is carry on with what I've been doing in retail, which is mainly focusing on cooldowns. I've got the tailoring cooldowns and my alchemist cooldowns. I'm still getting my other alchemists ready. I have 3 at skill level 50, so they've got their alchemy started and they've started on their weekly quests. They're currently around level 64, so I need to work on those a little bit more to get them up to 70, and then they have to go through and do the campaign enough so that they can go through and get the barter bricks to get the Dracothis cooldown. Other than that, ticking things through really, not a huge amount, a little bit in profession gear and stuff like that, but not a huge amount there. Same old with classic. I've really just been doing a little bit of basic flipping here, haven't invested too much of my game time here. I've done a little bit maybe in leveling, a few extra bars. I'm trying to get to about level 74, kind of working on that, and also still working on my mining. I haven't done jewel gathering in a while actually. Last was halfway through the month there, so we'll check in on all of the characters, go through what each of them has been doing, how I've set them up, and what I'm doing to make a little bit of gold with a little bit of time. That's really been my focus. Right, so let's have a look at our characters. Here we have, so we've got Samadan, my main. Obviously we've got Samadan's now 70. The rest are getting close to awakening. They're up at 67, so not too bad. Hellfire's just relisting a few things. I pulled all their gold together, so let's go in on Samadan and have a look at that. Right, so here we are on Samadan. As you can see, I've been doing my tailoring cooldowns since we last had a look. I'm at 12,779 gold. So looking here, Samadan has 78 gold left. So what I did is basically I gave everything but 1,000 gold to Hellfire and pulled all my gold together to buy the token. So everyone's got really, really limited resources here. So what do you do when you've not got enough gold to even do your tailoring cooldowns and things? It's okay, I've got a minimum amount of gold I need here. It's usually a few thousand. Next time I get to this point, I'll probably hope to have something like 10,000 gold each character, so I don't necessarily have to do this. But for me, the first and foremost, easiest way to get some seed gold together was go in the map, have a look, and do the dragon races was the by far the easiest thing to do. I would also look to see if there were any decent gold missions and things. You can see here I've got a whole load of different world quests that I could possibly do. I believe it looks like Samadan has finally gotten to that threshold. What's his item level? 386. So yeah, 386, 390 I think is ideal to be able to make sure that for your world quest you're getting gold instead of things. So that gives me quite a easy opportunity to, if I've got some playtime and I need just like a few thousand gold, this is a perfect thing to do. The races are fun. I enjoy doing those and travelling around. Usually I'll look, if I'm travelling between Valdrakken and here for my cooldowns, I'd look out for anything along the way. But we have been doing some tailoring cooldowns. I did, I think, 15 of them when I last looked. Let's have a look what we've got here. So, oh no, I didn't even do that. I've got 5 and an extra 1 there. So I believe, now, what did I buy these for? I'm trying to remember. I bought these for 2,500 gold, roughly, for the materials. And so I made an extra 1 on top of that. So I made about 500 gold on that. Craft Sim told me it would be a little bit more than that, which is probably if you take into account the materials I saved when I was making this. So I'll grab those up. You can see also here I've started doing the Draconic Treaties. So Samadan is my scribe and my alchemist. So I thought, why not make these treaties and do the work orders between each of the characters? And so that's been really, really useful. It gives me an extra knowledge point per profession per week, and it's relatively easy to do. And then I'm thinking the same thing here with Samadan being an enchanter. He started learning about all of the profession enchants and things that he can do there to help out my other professions. So I'm really focusing my professions on things that help my other professions and profession tools and things like that. So I'm trying to help each character work with each other. So let's grab this gold. Just kill that, delete that. There we go. And let's have a look. So specialization wise, we are still working. We've done all the Azure, we're working on the Chronocloth at this point. This isn't really profitable at this level, so I'm just waiting till I've leveled that up a little bit more. Tailoring Mastery is pretty well filled out though, full on each of these, which helps my tailoring immensely in terms of making the cloth cooldowns really profitable. On the enchanting front, I'm working my way down here, which is I've just learnt to craft Draconic Inspiration, then hopefully I can get Resourcefulness and get a little bit better at crafting those so that those can be a decent rank and I can start sending those to my other characters. I have got this fairly well fleshed out in terms of like just general good enchanting, so that's going to help me. And I've also got this filled out. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing with it, so I just threw some points in there. But now I've decided what I am doing. I'm focusing just on this tree here. See if I can get that filled out next. So in terms of what I can do here, obviously we've got our Azure Weave Bolt. We've got 10 of 30 left, so I can at least make 10 of those and get those carried on through. I can repost the things I've got on at the moment as well. Only a few little things really. I haven't restocked in ages. Could probably do with doing that. Tome of Illusions occasionally. Interesting to see how this goes with now that cross-realm trading is enabled. I don't have a second account, but that could be quite interesting just to make more of these and put them on other realms. You never know, you might get some sales that way. But for now, I'll just stick with my server. I'm not ready for cross-realm trading. I'll leave that to those with lots of gold. So that's all done. I'll ignore the other stuff because that's probably super cheap. We do need some materials here, so 9 Awakened Frost and 10 Awakened Order. It's going to be tight though, I can't afford quite enough here. I'm at 3,000 gold. So this is the kind of situation I'm in with a lot of my characters. I can't quite afford the base materials to get them going, but that's okay. That keeps them self-sufficient and it makes sure I'm putting my time and resources into making gold on each of these characters. So looking at this, I'd go back to the map again and say, okay, is there a few things, a few races I can do to just give me a little bit of extra gold? I don't need much, maybe a couple of races. Let's have a look what's around me. So we have this one, that's an easy one, kill the 50 insects, I've done that before. That's for an extra 625 gold. There's a race just down here, we're just down here in the middle. So I think I'm going to take that and that. Hop over, do those fairly quickly, and then come back and see how we get on. Here we go, so we just literally just fly through these insects, avoiding all the elites and the electorate. There we go. I need to regenerate, go through those. There we go. That's easy enough. If there was a assault going on right now, I'd probably go and do that as well. Can't remember if I've done that on Samadan or not yet. Probably do with a weak aura to track that, just to help get my item level up. Okay, so dragon races really don't take long. Nice bit of fun. There we go, personal best time as well. So with that and that, we're now at 4,200 gold. So that should be enough to get me my things for the cooldown. Let's go head on back and grab those off the auction house. And we can do at least our tailoring cooldowns in their current state. As the month progresses, obviously I'll get through these a bit better because I'll have a bit more reserves in my fund so I can just buy things outright. But this is just my seed gold just to get me going really, more than anything else. So now we can afford our 10 Awakened Order, so that's 3,000. So just make a mental note of the gold I've got so I can kind of get a rough gauge whether Craft Sim is going to be accurate with its pricings and things. So 3,000 gold on the Awakened Order. 9 of the Awakened Frost, and we have enough Vibrant Wilder Cloth Bolts already, so we're about 4,000 gold invested to make the 10 that we can make here. So let's make sure that this is reset on Craft Sim. You can see we're doing pretty well on most of our knowledge points, just another 30 in textiles to help us there. Extra inspiration, currently running at 20% inspiration, 15% multi-craft. Only one tool that's enchanted with resourcefulness and is a decent eye level one. The other two are the basic ones. Need to update those at some point. So I got a little bit lucky on those. Saved 1 awakened order, 2 awakened orders. So that's about 600 gold saved on those. No inspiration procs on those. Craftstim's saying a 2,000 gold profit there, so it's not a huge amount, not to write home about, but these are simple cooldowns that will all add to the gold over time. At least that's the plan anyway. So 10 of those are currently going for 5,970. We spent roughly about 4,000 on it, so if those sold, we're probably getting about 1,500 gold profit, rounding things down a little bit and stuff like that, which isn't too bad. And then we'll let the auction sell, hopefully, and whatever cooldowns we can regain by the next time we log in, then we'll go back and do those and repeat. I'll go do this treaty as I have earned it. Give myself another skill point. I'll save the other one for another time, as in next week. Then I'm going to park Samadan and check in on everyone else. Okay, Samadan. Now I'm having a lot of fun with the Dracothis transmutes. I only had enough money to make one of them, which should be enough to get me started. What I had to do with Samadan was I ended up going down into Zaralek Caverns and doing whatever gold missions I could find there, and that got me started on at least some decent seed gold. I did, I think, about 3 different races and a couple of the gold missions, and that was really good. We're not quite, I can see here, at the point of getting all gold missions on some of our things here. We have a decent amount though. What are we looking at in character item level 371? So not too bad. I think I've already done the assault on Samadan. I did that earlier. So let's just have a look at what money we've got. So we sold our 1 Dracothist for 7,600. I remember it cost me about 4,000 gold to make that one. So that's really good. So we can probably do another cooldown. Where are we at on that? We've got 7 of 10. So I just need to up the pace of this a little bit. So let's have a look. I'll take into account what we've already got here. So what's that? 285 glow spores, which cost me exactly 7,000 gold. Okay, it's quite expensive. Have I overcalculated that? It's at 185, isn't it? 4,500. Okay, that seems about right. And then we've got 16, so we need 34. So let's pick those up. That should be enough for our transmute if I calculated correctly. Yes, 350 of those. So simple case. Let's do a transmute and hope we get lucky. So let's look at what Craft Sim tells us the profit is. 7,000. Oh, there we go. We got a multi-craft. Fantastic. That's exactly what we needed. So we've got a multi-craft. So we've got 2 Dracothists and we saved a little bit on the silk and gem dust. That's perfect. That's just what we needed to get our reserves going. So we'll sell the 2 Dracothists. 7,800, still a good price there. So total price 15,000 gold. So let's create those and just look how quickly they sell. They've sold already. That's the power of the alchemy cooldowns. They are by far better than the tailoring cooldowns, which you can see why people like Drizzling Rose have 60 characters doing this, and you can easily make enough for a token if you've got that many characters. I don't. I've only got a small handful of characters, and not all of them are level 70. So if I was to start out in gold making now and I didn't know what to do, this would be my recommendation, is to get a character to 70, do the Zaralek Cavern introductory campaign so that you can unlock the Dracothis transmute, get alchemy and tailoring on your characters, specialize them as much as you can with the knowledge, do the one-time treasures and bits and pieces. You can see here there's a load in my week aura that I haven't done yet on Samadan. I've done it more on other characters. So basically run around the world, get all those done, get your specializations. For alchemy, it's mainly this one, alchemical theory and transmutation to help with the cooldowns, but then there's other things like resourceful routines. I don't think I bothered with any others. No, those are the main ones to really focus on for alchemy. Obviously, with profession equipment, if you can get yourself something like this has resourcefulness on it, just to increase your multi-craft as much as possible. Get some other tools maxed out, have to do some crafting work orders on those. The alchemy can be quite expensive to skill up beyond 50, but because you're basically just doing the file and potion experimentation at that point. But it's fairly easy just to tick through it at that point. But this is what you really need to get going is your transmute, and then tick through that as much as possible. And hopefully that will be enough gold. I mean, obviously token prices at the moment are really expensive, especially here on EU, where 369 at the moment. Actually, that's a bit cheaper than it was the other day when I bought mine. So that is still an option. But that's where I'm at really with my professions. So I'm trying to slowly build on my professions, especially alchemy if I can. I'm trying to do other things with other professions like inscription and enchanting to help out with crafting equipment for other characters. I've got the same with all my other characters. They can all craft the basic profession equipment. They just need to be able to make the higher end stuff, and I can start getting work orders between them, which would be really nice. That's more of a long-term goal. It's not essential at this point, but that's the bulk of that. In terms of gold we're doing at the moment, obviously you can see there's not a lot here. We're at 15,000 gold. Lots more to do. Looking at my other characters, so Awakening is getting close. Level 67 is going through and doing the campaign at the moment. Very close to getting 70. I think I just need to get a little bit more rested XP and have another stab at that. Leveling up, it's a really quick process with leveling. You just do it in small chunks and it flies by in no time. Awakening also has herbalism, so can get some experience that way as well as a little bit of gold that helps towards alchemy, so that's always good. Paladin and Dracodan, they have the tailoring cooldowns. They're not particularly as profitable as Samadan, but they can do them. Paladin a little bit more. If I have the time, I haven't got the time at the moment today, but if I have the time, I'll jump onto them, make sure they've done all their weekly events, and then go through and do their cooldowns. They're probably filled out on those. Bridget is my jewel crafter who is selling the occasional panther, doing the odd cooldown there, not a huge amount. There's a few things I can look into on the engineering front to maybe try and sell some things there. Almorte and Earthen, very much on the back burner in terms of leatherworking and blacksmithing. I haven't really invested into them. And Hellfire is just selling all my old junk. Sometimes I get some sales, sometimes I don't. I'm not really invested in those sales. I'll just throw them on as and when possible. So that's going to be my focus for retail, really, is a little bit of game time here and there. Progress characters if I can. Focus mentally on alchemy because that seems to be the better one. Try and just keep some auctions listed if possible. And I will let that gold slowly build up doing the cooldowns. It probably, in my current state, it probably won't be enough for a token this month, but at least it can start the process going so that I have enough gold when the next time comes round and can invest there in a token. Fingers crossed. So where does that leave me? Well, over in Classic, it's pretty much the same. Let's go hop over there. So here we are in Classic. So Storage is my main flipping character, and Bridget, who is slowly leveling up, currently at level 73, is currently going through doing mining. We'll check in on her in a moment, but let's have a look at Storage. I must say I'm really enjoying doing flipping on Classic. It's very much the old school style. I don't do it nearly as much depth or as much or as often as I would want to do, but at least I'm getting a few bits and pieces through. You can see here 301 gold in sales, nice and easy. Let's just pick up our expires. Currently sitting at 5,000 gold total, so Storage has most of those. Couple of investments I did make that I don't think panned out very well. One being Eternal Life. Now, I bought that for a smart average buy price of 1 gold 38. It doesn't really sell for that much. Prices have gone. It's got a good sale rate, but the thing that really hurts with this one is it's got huge deposit costs. So that was a bit of a mistake, because I'm losing money by posting those on. This lot would cost me probably about 30 gold to list in one go. And then the other one that didn't do quite well, although luckily we have sold a few here, was the light feather. That on paper looked like it would be a good investment, because I think priests need it for their levitate spell. But it's I did try a reset of it, and the sale rate just wasn't enough, and so I've kind of resorted to just selling those at a loss. So I just recouped a little bit of gold there, but we have got some sales, a couple of nice ones here. The Formula Enchant Boots, Lesser Spirit, 87 gold. Some Blind Weed, some good prices there. Shovel Tusk Flank must have been left over from Bridget, so 301 gold. I'll take all of that. I could do with flipping some stuff here though, because I don't think I've really got enough inventory to keep the money increasing. So let's just check in on where we're at the moment. Let's do if we do a post scan of where we're at. So the Eternal Life is coming on at 172. Don't know exactly how many are on there actually. Let's do this manually. That might be a better way of doing it, just to check on things. So if I open my bags, then flip on over to browse and just shift right click Eternal Life. It does look like they have been reset recently. So we're looking at, what are we looking at? 1 gold 49. 156 would be my minimum. So to try and cut my losses, I'm just going to post up here 12 hours. 18 stacks of 20 costing me 32 gold. So that's where the mistake lies. I just can't afford to list these too much. I could list less of them, but then they'd just be stuck in my bags. So I'm just going to take a punt and hope that I can get some sales on those. The same with the light feather. This constantly gets undercut. So I bought for 1 silver 82, and you can see they've gone right down here, 10 copper. And there's a lot of them. You can't really effectively reset the market given the sale rate is only 1.35 and so many people come in and just undercut massively. It's just not worth it. So I'm going to exclude that and just learn from the mistake, and the rest I think I'll just post on for what they are at the moment. Let's just pop the last of those on. I do like the speed of auction house posting in Classic. There we go. Let's get all of that on. So depending on time, again, I'll do a basic shopping scan of everything that I've got here and see if there's anything I can flip. Would be my first port of call here. So just watching this come through at the moment, we have a few potential. Strangle Kelp's always a favourite. This looks like we could potentially min 279. I've sold it for 158. So we could currently take this all the way up here to the 49 point. That would be a reasonable flip. In terms of the numbers we've got here, there's a good jump from 40 to 89%. That's the kind of brackets you're really looking for. What else have we got here? Dreaming Glory. That's at 0.3 sale rate. We are looking at a buyout price of 33. I haven't sold this before, so I don't have got any evidence based on this. On average, 108 sold per day. So I'm looking for a jump in bracket, of which I don't really see any, apart from a ridiculous one here. The region sale average is 34 silver. The market average is 65, which we're quite low under that, so this is worth there's not a huge number of them. So let's try a reset of these. And then we've got a few more bits and pieces, mainly herbs it looks like. Golden Sansom, kind of like that one normally. 40 to 74. Someone looks like they're doing more of a bait price there. I'll help them with the purchase. Re-profit on that myself. 60 to 69, that's not a huge amount. Going back up to the low ones. Peace Bloom, yeah, you could do that. It takes a lot to go through that. Let's go with a slightly less common one. We're going 2 silver to 4 silver. Sold on average 2 silver 31, so just take the cheap ones. Won't go too much on that one. Purple Lotus has a good sale rate. Regions 142. I've sold for 87, so prices could be slightly higher than what they are at the moment. In terms of quantity, nothing huge. So we're going, how far should we go? 191 is a bit of a reset price. That would be all the way up here. We could possibly afford to do that. We've got the gold for it. Obviously at the weekend, so you tend to get people throwing a lot of stuff on the auction house. So that's a good time to sell as well, or good time to reset some markets, as people will be buying as well. Let's go, fortune favours the brave sometimes. Let's take this higher, 104, where's it at, 111. Let's do this a bit carefully. 137, then 138 is the last we want there. Nightmare bar, fine. 297, and Fire Bloom's a good one as well. So what's Fire Bloom looking like? Again, good jump from 43 to 76. I'll take the cheap ones. And Nightmare Vine. Again, another good jump here. 187. What's this normally? 298. Okay, we'll take the cheap ones. Oh, look, there's a big wall there. 90 and 24 single stacks. Okay, this is probably someone who's farmed and then throw them on in a very inconvenient price if you haven't got TSM. If you do have TSM, it's very convenient just to go through and buy all of these up. So this is what we'd call a wall in some cases, simply because there's so many single auctions that's just filling up the auction house. It makes it difficult to buy them out and relist them, unless you have TSM, of course. Starting to slow down as we hit an auction house throttle. Take it a little bit slower, just to get these last through ones. So I want to do this carefully so I don't end up buying the 4 gold ones. Take that one and that one. Okay. Other things that look good. Strange Dust is always a good one. Good sale rate on that. Is there a good bracket jump? Yes, there is. What's our last sale price? 10 silver. Yeah, that's kind of similar. And again, there's another wall here. 60 single ones. We can post them in much more convenient stacks of 20. For someone who's leveling their enchanting, that would be a lot more useful to them. So we can hopefully sell those for 20. So sell those stacks of 20 for a higher price. I mean, we could go all the way up to 14 silver here. Could probably go even higher than that, to be fair. Where's the next bracket? There's 5 of 20 there. You could possibly go up, yeah, from the 14.90 to the 16 would be a good way to just push the price a little bit higher so that you're allowing for the price going back down a little bit as well. Just go through these for now. Yeah, I think TSM's hit that point where it tends to get a bit lagged out. So usually what I'll do in that case is just open up my mail for a cycle. Obviously we've lost our shopping scan, which is a bit of a shame. Let's get this stuff back on the auction house before someone starts making a good profit on them, because we've reset the price on them. We want us to make the profit on them. The joys of single sells. There we go. Okay, so checking our auction house. Let's just have a look at these manually just to make sure. So we've got here 83 silver, which is a historical price. We are on average 48. So we're going to just manually bump this up a little bit more. We don't want the 12 gold. That seems ridiculous. What would be our normal? 128. So let's go 199. Take the 1 off of that. We don't want it to seem unreasonable. 17 stacks deposits, 255. That's reasonable. And then the single one on for that. Yeah, that seems better. Oh, we do have one. We did at 11.99. That's when I pressed enter by mistake. But 1.99 would be good. Sell for that. Let's have a look at the others. The Strange Dust, we still need to buy some out. So let's take those out. Now I'm tempted to jump up to there's a few stacks of 20 here, but that's okay. On average, I think we'll do all right. We go from 14 to 1688. That should be a good number. 1688 to 17 to 19 would be the other option here. Give ourselves a little bit of an extra buffer for the ones we just bought up. You want to kind of increase that margin a little bit, ideally. You have to be confident that these will sell though, and with Strange Dust I've had some pretty good experience with them in the past, so I'll go with this at 18. What's our average here is 773. So we'll post those on, check on the others slightly. So again, yeah, we've got the single one here we'll buy, and then we'll post our own up here, that price. Check in on the Strangle Kelp. That looks like that's 101 versus 249. And the Fire Bloom, we are at 35. We're now at 64. 64 then jumps up here to 73. That's quite a few there. I'll take my conservatives at this. What's that's 35? Yeah, what's our minimum? Is 40. Yeah, we'll go with this for now. Let's not get greedy on it all. I'll probably just run a post scan on the rest of these, just to clear everything up. Current price, earth route. What was the earth route? Let's just post those on. There we go, and pick up the rest of our bits. So all going at my current price, which is good. Let's get those all on and done. So we are looking at 4,500 gold with 3,200 on the auction house. That's pretty good. It's going to just pop that into my spreadsheet. What's that? 4,510. Auction house value was 3,202. 3,202. And we did a relist and a flip, and we'll pop that in there. Okay, so that's my process in Classic, as always. So it's ticking through, I think, confidently, given the rate I'm going here at 4,500 gold. With some more playtime on Bridget, I think we could easily get what we need for a token. What's the token looking like at the moment? 7,500 gold. I think we could easily get that this month. So I'm quite confident, even though I know I'm not going to get it in retail this month, I'm quite confident that I will get enough for a token in Classic this month. So I can balance the two out, have a bit of fun in one, play on another, and I've got lots of different opportunities for gold making. For me, it's all about making sure that I'm doing what's fun for me, and being able to straddle the two different types of WoW is really good for me. I've still got my hand in retail, I'm still doing the cooldowns, I'm still keeping abreast of what's happening there, but I'm also enjoying my old school techniques here in Classic, and there's going to be lots of fun there. Obviously, once Hardcore comes out, I'll be dipping my toe into that, but I'm more interested in that from just a pure enjoyment of the leveling kind of process. So if I can keep this stuff on the sideline, that is going to really sort of like just help me with my game time. Let's just pop in on Bridget, see where she's at with the jewel gathering. Okay, here's Bridget, sat on the hill, doing some jewel gathering. We are currently at, where are we at on mining? You can't see because my Zygor's just further down here. So I'm using Zygor as a guide here for my levelling up. You don't need to, I'll probably end my subscription soon because I'm trying to save on costs. 234 out of 245 and 259 out of 270. The route I've currently got here at the moment in, I think it's the hinterlands, yeah, in the hinterlands is basically all around here, gathering up sungrass, mithril, the odd bit of thorium. Sometimes I go up here and do these extra bits as well. It depends on how busy it is. You usually get a feel for it going around on my course, pressing, like I said in the last video, I press Q to alternate between herbalism and mining as I travel, so I can dual gather both of them. If I start seeing corpses ahead, or I'm not getting many hits on either nodes, or I see other players hanging around, then I'll usually kind of like give up for another time or move to another location. There's no point just fighting for the rare bits and pieces. So here you can see, okay, someone's been active around here recently. That's my first warning sign, as it were. Could be someone just, questing and stuff, so it's not always the case. But it sometimes just comes down to timing. You don't want to be in a huge amount of competition with other people when it comes to jewel gathering. It's just not worth your time, really. So this is the sort of thing that I'm dipping in and out of as I level up the profession. Once I've got it up to the same level as my... Yeah, there's another one here. Someone's definitely travelling this route recently. Might even be a bot, you never know. It tends to be the bots that kill things. You can see them automatically stopping, keyboard rotating, and then killing things. Yeah, they're doing a very similar route to me as well. If I do see people tend to do the same routes, there's other options as well. See, I'm not getting any hits on any nodes as well. I'm thinking, oh no, it says that just as I get a node. What is it? It's Golden Sansom. Okay, let's go in there and have a look. Unfortunately, Golden Sansom is the one I need 260 herbalism on. There'll be a reason why that one wasn't picked up. Alright, I'm going to follow the route a little bit more, and then I'm going to change, I'm going to deviate from the route. Sometimes it helps to do the route backwards. What have you got here? Mithril's up here somewhere. Oh, here's a good one. Green for us at the moment on mining. I go 235 we're up to on mining. Next bracket is 245. It's nice with the jewel gathering is you do get to experience and enjoy other zones, even though I'm over leveled on these at the moment, so I'm not really thinking about the mobs or anything. It's kind of a nice chill thing to do. All depends on how much time I have, obviously. Normally I skip up this way. Now there is some stuff inside here sometimes. You can see someone's moved in here. Sometimes you get stuff in there as well, but obviously someone's been around here. You can see there. There goes someone as well. Okay, they're off. Level 18 Night Elf. Okay. So that is my competition. They're doing the same route as me. So I could go, okay, I know they've gone off this area. How many other people are in the zone? Well, I could go this way and avoid them and try another part of the route. It's not my map, that's my map. Maybe just cut through and do the other half. That's always an option. And if that's not panning out, I'll just go, okay, I'll call it for the day and I'll do something else. Tends to be my my thought process when it comes to stuff like this. It's fun, but not when there's a huge amount of competition. And obviously it's the weekend, so it's quite busy. What have we got here? Hiding in the grass. Some Khadgar's Whisker. We've got 260 on our herbalism now, so that means at least we can get the golden sansom now when that appears. Some gold thorn. So this is better in terms of hits versus the other route we were doing where we were in competition. Oh, there was a node there I didn't spot. Is there? There's always that one that's high up that I don't think I can always get. Let me have a look. Oh no, I might be able to reach this one. Where is it? There it is. I'll just kill the things. Sorry, wolf. Killing your own kind. This is grey to me anyway, but nodes is nodes and they give me some gold. Got some life root up here. Again, that's grey to me. Very slim brackets with herbalism and mining, which is what's great about Classic. It's not just everything gives you XP and everything gives you skill ups. I like the old system. I think it worked well. When it was designed as a singular system, it got a lot more complicated as the expansions increased, especially having to learn everything up along the way as you went. I'll get a little loop around here and then probably call it for a day after that. Tends to be slim pickings in this area. Yeah, not a lot here, so I think we're still in competition at other locations here. I've had better pickings in this route. Obviously it is the weekend. I think I might park myself where there's a known node, usually like somewhere around here, so the next time I log on I'll be able to go, okay, hopefully there's something around here and I'll be able to pick up where I left off. But that's what I'm doing with Bridget, getting her mining and everything leveled up. Occasionally I'll go over and send my wares over to storage, and storage can sell those things. I can do the mining by smelting as well. I can smelt the thorium, I think it is now, to get myself a little bit further up here to 240. But that obviously costs money, so I'd rather just spend a little bit of time. You know, I'm enjoying the process. That's the main thing, really. So there we go. That's my plans. That's my month of gold making. So August is going to be mainly focused on Classic. I will be dipping into retail to do the cooldowns from time to time and progressing the characters as and when I have time available. Obviously it's really busy for me at lots of the time, so it all depends on what kind of game time I have. But my focus will be Classic because I need to get another token to pay for the next month, and I have a month now to do that. So let's focus on Bridget. I mean, I could at some point jump back over to leveling up Bridget. If I get bored of this whole jewel gathering stuff, then I'll always go over and do that, because you get quite some good rewards just through questing and leveling in Wrath. It's a pretty good expansion for that. Obviously everyone's at the top end and playing. I'm not level 80 yet, so there's still much more for me to do in the future anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy gold making, and I'll see you very soon.